Alright everybody, it is February 9th. That means
it's Members Only Monday.
We are back in action after a couple month hiatus, I think. How long has it been, Blevins?
Probably since the trip we took to Virginia, to be honest with you.
It's been that long.
Well, I mean, we didn't come off. Well, I think we did, and then we got.
This is what we ran into.
We did talk about then, and then
we ran into some issues where we had a series of Sunday matches, and on Monday I was uploading our videos all day long, so I had the camera doing that.
Yes.
And we got sidetracked with Members Only Monday, and therefore our thousands and thousands of fans missed out on a lot of wrestling news.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we have guest appearance today by Shane McGrath.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Who is also our most tenured guest coach with wrestling as well.
And I have a promising 0-3 record.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good about
so
that.
So what do you think about your experiences as a guest coach?
Certainly, I think the highlight was the post-match. I really enjoyed the post-match this go-around. I was
post-match what?
Well, from the Gardner-Webb Duke match from the other evening that did not go according to plan. We had a little bad luck, as you may have heard.
It was.
And when we went into the locker room afterwards, it seemed as though you were letting off a little bit of steam. Just a little bit of steam. You're a little agitated.
And that's been your favorite moment of your 3 times?
That was unquestionably the apex of my entire experience, was listening. I learned some new vocabulary that I didn't know really existed, and I thought I had a pretty good vocabulary. Now I'm able to expand it some more.
Yeah.
And
was this wrestling vocabulary, or
it was sort of, I would say,
you would use it going down the street.
You could use it going down the street if you wanted to. And what really was interesting about it to me is, obviously, the mood in the room was not just real chipper at that particular moment. But I had to look down at the ground and kind of look away from the team because I didn't want them to see me laughing at this. Because it's not as if I wasn't taking it seriously. It was sort of, Bobby Knight ain't got nothing on you, brother.
Oh, hey, I'm in a good league then, huh?
Yeah.
Good league. And so maybe you can use some of the language with your new radio show.
Perhaps, although I think the Federal Communications Commission might frown upon. We try to be a family-friendly program.
Let's tell our fans about your radio show.
Yes,
get a little plug here.
You
didn't know you were going to be doing this.
That's right. On Saturday mornings, starting at 9 o'clock, we have what I like to call affectionately the fastest 2 hours in radio, with your affable host, your captain, DEEJ, yours truly, Shane McGrath, for the Saturday mornings with Shane McGrath program, DEEJ. That's right. And we like to say that it's great to join our tens of listeners. We have a different riveting guest every week, an interview segment, and then I usually have a rant or two about different things, an exciting monologue. We play some oldies in there a little bit.
Can we go ahead and schedule out when I get to come on?
I would love for you to come on.
When?
I would think maybe sometime in March, perhaps.
Okay, can I get in on the rant part too? Because I'm good at ranting, as you know.
You are good at ranting. I think that would be terrific. I really do.
Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Blevins.
Yeah.
How's your eye?
Not looking great.
A little sore, a little tight, but other than that, it's pretty good. I've had the last couple of days to rest. I met Mr. Austin Trott's knee last week in practice.
Advantage knee.
Who won?
Knee
Who won
meet
that?
face meet knee. I think it's Trott. Trott knee 1, my face 0.
Did you score the takedown?
No, I just kind of bailed out.
Oh, that would have been better if you scored the takedown.
It would have been.
Did you continue to wrestle after that?
Well, after I taped my eye.
It was right at the end of the day, though.
It was.
Right, we didn't have much more going on.
Andrew taped me up, and then by the time we got on the mat, we were wrestling a couple minutes, and then we were done.
Did you feel like you were on the playgrounds of Oklahoma during that match?
I did feel back home at once.
The playgrounds are the streets of Sapulpa.
Not the streets of Sapulpa.
No.
How do you spell Sapulpa?
Salupapa.
Sapulpa.
I don't know where.
How many people live in Sapulpa? Did you reduce the population by 50% when you left?
No, there was about 20,000 that lived there.
20,000?
Wow. That's what about
Probably. It was a
Boone
big
size? That's about Boone?
Yeah, it was.
Really?
It was pretty big. It was pretty big.
What are you near? Are you near Norman or Oklahoma City?
Tulsa.
It's in the northeast corner, up closer to Tulsa. We're about an hour and a half away from.
Really, the metropolitan area around it is Sand Springs.
Wow.
Yeah. So. which is where Kyle Ash is from. So
That's the mother folk.
but anyways, what do you think about we got the week we have ahead of us here, guys?
I'll start with Mr. Blevins.
A lot of traveling.
No, not this
For
week.
one.
We travel this weekend. We're going to Edwardsville, Illinois.
We were talking about this last weekend.
Do you think there are more people in Edwardsville, Illinois, or in Sepulpa, Oklahoma?
Probably.
Edwardsville.
I think Edwardsville? What's in Edwardsville?
Southern Illinois,
The
Edwardsville.
Salukis.
Is that what they are?
I don't know how much you work on your scouting report, but that's what they are.
The what?
The Salukis?
They're the Salukis.
That's how you
aren't
read.
they the Huskies?
I thought they had like a
No,
bird.
no, Northern Illinois is a Husky.
Yeah.
Southern
I thought they were
Illinois
the
is a
bird.
Saluki. No, Southern
I'm looking
Illinois.
this up. You guys keep talking.
No, I'm sure of it. They've made the NCAA tournament. I know you wrestlers look
In
down
what
on-
sport? They're the Cougars.
In basketball. No, they're the Salukis.
What's that?
Basketball is a sport that they play in the wintertime. And it's got...
They are the Cougars. SIUE Cougars.
Oh, well, the actual Southern Illinois University is the Salukis. Look it up, SIU. Not the one in Edwardsville, the actual campus. The main campus, the flagship campus. But basketball is a sport that they play in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
And it generally gets a...
That's what boys play during men's wrestling season.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are the Salukis.
They are the Salukis.
What the
Thank
heck
you.
is the Salukis?
Thank you. I think it's some sort of a dog.
You know, there's a saying around the wrestling folk about basketball.
Yes.
I would rather have wrestled and lost than played basketball and dribbled in my shorts.
But why is there such antagonism from wrestlers to basketball players? Because I don't think the basketball players hate
because
wrestlers.
the site
Because it's the
I
same time
adore
of the year.
more.
Yeah.
We share the arena.
But they don't resent
Somewhat.
you guys. They don't resent you guys.
Here's
Because
here
we're
it is.
tougher.
The site I adore
Yes.
on a basketball floor are wrestle mats from door to door.
Is that an original?
Now that came straight off a T-shirt. Same with the bat.
Did Dick Wentz write that?
No, Dick Wentz did not. So here's probably where some resentment comes from.
Okay.
Basketball is everyone's golden child, and are in their own league of their own or whatnot. And wrestlers, we are the redheaded stepchild of any athletic program anywhere.
I mean, why is that?
Because we're a different breed.
You're unusual.
We're unusual, and
As most people would say, we fight men in tights. That's to everybody else.
that's what they think, but they don't know that. And then the resentment. There's a lot of me versus them mentality in the sport of wrestling because we're not given much, and we're always, we're driving vans to Illinois this weekend.
Yeah.
Other teams would take a charter bus to Charlotte to get on the airplane to fly to Illinois.
But there are economic reasons for that.
Which are?
Well,
You know who makes the school more money than the other athletic program?
I know that. Right.
Let's talk about
I
economics,
know there
Shane.
are
Let's
different
go.
ways to calculate that, but I think there's probably higher fan interest in round ball.
Fans don't make the school money.
I understand that.
Anyways,
Yeah.
this is a soapbox that I probably shouldn't be getting
No,
into.
I'm trying to get you
when we
agitated.
throw this onto the internet
This is
here.
members only Monday. I'm trying to get you fired up, man.
Oh,
You gotta have a ratings bonanza.
I'm going to punch
You
some
gotta
little
give-
kid in the yard right now.
You can't get ratings with making small talk. You got to give red meat to the viewers out there.
Red meat.
Red meat.
Raw red meat.
Raw
like straight
red
out of
meat.
the cougar we just killed with our own hands.
Straight out of Oklahoma.
Out of Oklahoma. They don't
Yeah.
have cougars out there.
They don't.
Yeah.
They got coyotes. They
Yeah.
got coyotes around here.
Little
Yeah, we
bitty
do.
ones.
They ate my chickens. Anyways.
So you got a big match on
Sunday, we wrestle Southern Illinois, Edwardsville. It's our last conference match. Then we have Indiana, Big Ten program.
So how badly is that going to be?
We might shut them out. There's a chance we'll shut them out.
There is a chance.
There's a chance we get shut out.
So you're saying there's
a chance we split 5 and 5.
So what are the chances of you going out with me? Like 1 in 1,000? More like 1 in a million. So you're saying there's a chance.
Oh yeah, that's it. Exactly.
Yeah. Name that movie.
Dumb and Dumber.
Captain
Come on,
Cinema.
man.
There you
Jeez.
go. There you go.
Try to question me on my movie quotes.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Shawshank Redemption.
Not even close.
No, nothing. That's my favorite movie. Favorite comedy is Tommy Boy. Nothing can come close to Tommy Boy.
But Shawshank is sort of your idea of the greatest American
Yep,
picture.
and my wife's never seen it.
Blevins, what's your favorite?
Tommy Boy's cool. Actually, I've seen Happy Gilmore probably about.
That's what you've seen the
As
most, but
many
is that
times.
your
That
favorite?
means
Is that your
what's your
favorite?
go-to?
Yeah.
you go
I
to?
don't know.
If you were going to be, in a hotel room, deserted somewhere, and you could only have one of your favorite movies, what would it be?
I'd rather have a box of ice cream than a movie.
What about you, Shane?
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
That's a good one.
George
Great
Clooney.
soundtrack.
Great
soundtrack.
soundtrack, very quotable.
It's what, the Odyssey? It's
It's a takeoff of the Iliad.
Iliad.
Yeah, that's
Same
set.
guy wrote the Odyssey, right?
Right,
Same
that
guy.
Homer, not Simpson.
Simpson? No.
And it's set in Depression era Mississippi,
Yeah.
and it's very entertaining.
She done run oft. R-U-N-D-O-F-T?
No, R-U-N-N-O-F-T.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's got John Goodman plays the Cyclops.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. We had an eye patch.
It has an eye patch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
So talk about your preparation going up to the match this week. You're going to leave when? You're going to leave Saturday?
We're actually going to leave Friday afternoon.
So you're going to stay 2 nights in the hotel?
No, we're going to drive, in a hotel. We're going to drive about 4.5 hours Friday after dinner.
Where are you going to stay?
Somewhere around Lebanon to Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
We haven't scheduled that yet. And then we finish
Or
the
you're
drive.
going to have dinner at Waffle House, perhaps?
They'll go to eat in the cafeteria before we leave.
Okay.
And then we'll finish the drive Saturday morning, work out up at Southern Illinois, Edwardsville. And then we will start the butt kicking Sunday morning.
What's the most unusual thing that's taken place from a travel standpoint on any road trip since you've been the head coach? What's the most unusual thing?
All right, let's see. Last year we were on our way to Chattanooga, right? Was it Chattanooga?
Yeah, and the tire
we blew a tire out about 30 minutes from campus. So we call the people
From this campus or their campus?
This campus.
This campus.
We were just on the other side of Forest City.
Yeah, we
This
have
just happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, we have 3 vans. We call campus, and they say to use my AAA card.
Okay.
That's their fix. So
Yes.
I go through my wallet. I don't have my AAA card, my personal AAA card. I don't have one with the school. So then where we are, we put with wrestling, you got to get your weight down. Okay, so we got to get there and cut weight. So we put everybody.
So is everyone wearing trash bags at this point?
No,
or are they wearing burlap sacks?
That's illegal. We don't know. We don't.
You don't do
use
that?
those. No.
Okay.
So we put everybody in the other vans that
NCAA
needed
is
to
watching.
cut weight, and they got on the road. And then me and our strength coach and the trainer and the guys who didn't need to lose weight, we stayed back. Well, I'm like underneath the car, jacking it up, the van, like little bitty jack. And they call and they're like,
Is the rest
hey.
of the team helping you at this point?
No, they're going on the van.
Okay.
And they call and they're like, I said, I can't use my AAA card, I don't have one. And they're like,
That's
well,
why I can't use it.
well, they can't, you can't use ours because we're not there.
Yeah.
And I said, hang up the phone. I just hung up on Jane Powell. And then she called 2 more times, and
Sorry, Jane.
we ended up putting the spare on and driving the rest of the way to Chattanooga with the spare.
I don't think that's
And
advisable.
then we went straight to I took it straight to the tire place, put on 4 new tires, came back and said, I know it takes 2 weeks to reimburse people, but I need this today, and they reimbursed me.
So you were a mover and a shaker. You made things happen.
Yep.
Do you think of yourself as an alpha male? Are you an alpha male?
Probably.
Lemons, are you an alpha male?
Probably any wrestler you come across is going to say
Or would
that.
like to be one anyway.
Yeah, they try.
They try really desperately
Yeah.
hard to be an alpha male.
Another time we were going out to Indiana, we were the other side of Knoxville.
Yeah.
3 hours from Charlotte-ish. And one of the vans, all the electrical stuff quit working.
So it wouldn't go,
Yeah,
basically.
like I'm in the
So
lead
what's the
van.
diagnosis? It won't go.
I'm in the
Will
lead
not
van.
go.
I look in the mirror, and the other van is just creeping over.
Shut up.
Everything stopped. Yeah.
I don't remember this.
And we have Triangle rental vans, and we're on the other side of Knoxville. And their response is, we'll bring you a new van. And again, we got to get there and work out. So we put, everybody got 1 change of clothes in the wrestling shoes and crammed in the van. We're
And
like
their burlap sacks.
5 wide, and took off. And they had to bring another van from Charlotte to the other side of Knoxville,
Holy
change it
cow.
out, and get.
Why do you think that you have so many travel issues?
Because we don't get to take buses like everybody else.
So it goes back. That's your big grievance.
Yeah.
If this was Festivus and we were
'Cause we
having
take
our airing of
vans.
grievances, that's your big grievance.
Oh yeah, but it's good though. It makes it tougher.
What
It
if
makes
you
it
could
tougher.
find a corporate sponsor that would be willing to give you a van? That would be a big feather in your cap.
Yeah, we still got to drive them though.
You still have
Hey,
to
do you
drive
want
them.
do you want to drive a van? What
No.
are you doing this weekend?
Not
I know
driving
you're
a van.
recently engaged.
You know what
Correct.
we need?
You have Valentine's. This is a perfect weekend to save some money on Valentine's Day and ride with us.
I don't
That's
think
what I'm
that's gonna
doing.
work.
got out of it with my wife.
We need a big yellow school bus.
That'd be great. That would sort of go with this. You're trying to have this blue collar mentality.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah, we do.
You know,
I said, guys, we got a white. After we got our butts kicked by somebody earlier in the year, I said we got a white collar mentality and a blue collar sport, guys.
Yeah.
If you want them to give you a win.
You know what I heard a coach say one time?
What's that?
It was something along the lines of,
man.
I keep coming in here and saying, you know, we're a lot better than this, we're a lot better than this. Maybe we're not. Maybe we're just not that good. And next year when they print up motivational calendars with little speeches and quotes on there, I think that should be on there. Maybe you're just not that good.
We just got to work harder.
Yeah.
So you're really good.
Speaking of, there's a Division III one-time national qualifier who's written a book about the insides of wrestling. Then the subtitle is something along the lines of
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
No, it's more of it doesn't matter how hard you work, you won't win or something like that. So, it sounds like it was written by a mediocre D3 guy and is some bitterness.
That's the title of one of the chapters, or
the subtitle and the title of the book.
Really?
Don't you think, though,
I'll look it up. You guys keep talking.
Don't you think when you're in anything that you're doing, if it, a job or sport or anything, community involvement, whatever, don't you think there's something to be said for it's not just putting in the time, because I do think you have to put in the time, but it's also putting in the time doing the right things. You have to do the right thing at the right time, the right way, kind of a deal. Because I'll tell you one of my favorite quotes by a coach was John Wooden when he said, "Don't mistake activity for achievement." And I think there is something to be said for that. Would you agree?
Yeah. If you're not focusing on the right things,
right.
You're just mindlessly running around in circles.
Exactly. That's right. And I mean, I think about people putting up, thousands of free throws or whatever. Well, if their form and their technique isn't very good, all they're doing is reinforcing bad muscle memory.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just going to replicate that in the game.
Yeah.
Or people that, they're working on public speaking, they get in front of the mirror and give a speech. Well, if the speech isn't very good, it doesn't really matter how many times you rehearse.
How many times did you practice your presentations in school before you...
It would depend on the presentation. I don't think certain things you don't really practice per se.
I winged every single one of them. I did.
Well, that's good.
In that sense, which is more important, planning before the practice or before the workout or whatever that you're doing, or post-practice,
evaluation,
evaluation.
I think you need both.
Yeah, you got to do both. I do think the planning beforehand is really, really key, because you want to...
If you had to pick one.
I would say the planning beforehand, because you want to make the best use of your time, I think is key.
You ever read any Peter Drucker?
Peter Drucker, I know who Peter Drucker is. I've not read any of his books, but I do know who he is.
Anyways, the subtitle of this book, The Inner Game of Wrestling. Why the plan of working harder and longer and being stronger and faster than your competition does not work.
Well, there's probably something to...
Does not work.
There's always value sometimes in questioning traditional mindsets.
My old grad assistant, Connor Beebe, who's now the assistant at Northwestern,
Yeah.
knows this guy, and he
Joliet, Illinois.
heated about this guy.
He's upset about it?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Anyways, don't like it.
I think there's room for different styles. I think you see it in football. You have some guys that still want to do 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and other coaches that want to play as fast as possible. I think at different times each style has been successful. So
Here's
I think
the key,
there's some, yeah.
in my mind, is making that other team or your opponent compete in your style.
Yeah, I would say, yeah,
Like,
dictating the style.
Yeah, like you take
Yeah.
Georgia Tech offense in football.
Sure.
And make them have to throw it, you're going to beat them.
Well, just like when you go into a job interview, can you control the room? Do you set the tone for the room? Kind of. I think it's the same sort of thing in athletics or anything else that you're doing. Yeah. Do you set the standard? Can you implement that?
Man, I'm getting deep today.
I know we are.
Getting deep.
But you know why? Because I'm wearing a leather jacket.
It's not only a leather jacket.
It's a members only one-day leather jacket. I look forward to getting on my motorcycle, cruising around, perhaps getting a motorcycle sponsored by Triangle Rent-A-Car.
Because we gave them a great plug.
Waving to them. Feeling really good about that. Anything else?
No, I think I'm pretty good. I'm ready for a big week. I don't think other than wrestling, what's going on?
Does anybody actually watch this?
Yeah, we've actually had major complaints since we haven't done them in a few months.
Who watches?
Our supporters. Parents.
Anywhere from...
We got some recruit parents.
Immediate family
We've
members.
got the head coach at Stanford Wrestling, Jason Borelli, jumped on me at the Scuffle and was like, "Where are they? We haven't seen one in
Scuffle's a big
weeks."
tournament in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Yeah. Didn't it used to be at Greensboro, right?
Bailey
That's right.
Davis, remember Kevin?
I know Bailey. I know Kevin.
Bailey, sort of. We gotta give her a plug too. She'll be so excited that we're back on the air right now. So
is she?
My wife will miss it. She doesn't watch them. She doesn't care.
But she does come to the matches.
Yeah, she has to.
I will share. Can I share one more anecdote before we go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I would like to sort of lodge not a public.
I don't even know what's coming right now.
Not a public health complaint, but just sort of an observation. After the Duke match the other night, Aaron Hinton, who I understand is becoming your de facto team chaplain.
Yeah, we're working on.
Let me point out. Which, by the way, let me point out something about Aaron, if I can. And you can quote me on this.
Oh, it's going out, man.
For the record,
I'm not editing this.
He had a youth day back in this. Aaron Hinton, our director of church relations at Gardner Webb, Carolina graduate in the divinity school at Gardner Webb. He had a youth day back in November, and he asked for me to come speak about applying to college and so forth. And I wanted to point out to the people, and in fact I did point out to the audience that day. I got up and I said, Aaron opened us up with prayer today, and you'll notice that he prayed for good weather, and I know that he prayed for good weather earlier this week, and it's raining outside right now. He prayed before the Duke match the other night. He got crushed. So I'm not suggesting that his telephone line isn't working. I am suggesting that maybe it's a little bit like an internet signal that goes in and out sometimes.
Wireless dogs?
I'm not going to comment on that. But that it could be intermittent, I think would be a good word. Anyway, Aaron's kids were at the match the other night.
Right.
And after the match ended, you have tape on the mats.
Yeah.
So your guys did a really good job. I guess your freshman guys that weren't participating, they roll up all the tape, and they had it in a ball about this big. It looked awfully like a basketball, your favorite sport.
Yeah.
And so they had it all balled up like that. Well, we went in for the inspirational speech that we got.
It was not inspirational.
That was post match, and we came walking out. The first person I see is Downey Hinton, Aaron's wife, and their two kids. And I believe it was Luke is just tossing this thing up in the air, and he's got it all around his face and that kind of thing. And Downey is just watching this, and your wife, Paisley, this is what made me think of that story, comes running over to her and proceeds to inform her that her kids could have MRSA at any moment. That MRSA is going to be infiltrating the household. And Aaron's look, Aaron, who's usually very cool and calm and collected, very composed, pressure on the fire guy, he was no longer as unflappable as he traditionally is.
Yeah.
Because he took them straight to the bathroom, washed their hands, they went home, they bathed in Germ-X. He was worried about MRSA becoming a part of the family
And they
tradition.
didn't get any. No MRSA outbreaks.
Not to our knowledge, but I was going to suggest that maybe, you sort of, as you're coaching up your guys, that maybe you coach them, hey, when you're done with that tape, you've got it all balled up, just, there's this thing called trash can.
They're not good at that.
Avail yourself.
They have trouble flushing the toilet.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
And I live with wrestlers in college, and I can vouch that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, sometimes it helps keep things in perspective. Luke Hinton, 5 years old, after we walk off the mats with Duke, and I'm just livid.
Yeah.
Comes up, he's like, Daniel, that was a good wrestling match. He has no idea.
It was the best he had seen that day.
No idea, and he loved it, and was just happy to be there, and you know what? It just keeps things in perspective sometimes.
That's right.
Anyways, got a long-winded today, but good to have you, Shane. Glad to be here. Maybe we can bring you on again. I'm looking forward to the radio show.
I would be thrilled.
We'll see you next week for
Members Only Mondays.